Now, a closer look at a struggle many Americans face, the bias of skin tone. It's called colorism, and it's an eye-opening topic, and covering it was championed by a member of our GMA team. We recently lost producer Daisha Riley.
Yeah, this is such an important story, and Daisha felt that it was really important to shine a light on this problem that is so recognized in communities of color, but rarely discussed publicly. Deborah Roberts is here with more on this story. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Cecilia and Michael. And I have to say that I am humbled and honored to bring forth one of the last pieces that Daisha produced for us. Once again, a provocative issue, many that I've had an opportunity to explore with her over the years. And this one shining a light on bias around skin tones, not among different ethnic groups, but within the same communities of color. Some call it light privilege.
She's pretty for a dark-skinned girl.
Their parents will call me negro, which means black in Spanish.
It's been an open secret for generations.
There's this like fetishization of light skin.
It was always black or white. You know, don't get too black.
Colorism, prejudice based on skin tone, and a preference for light skin over dark. The unfortunate phenomenon spread across all groups of color.
Within Asian Americans, this model minority mindset to distance yourself from other people of color by like positing yourself as like the most like hardworking and law-abiding minority in this country in a way in order to kind of like gain favor with white people.
Dr. Joy DeGruy, who studies racial trauma, says colorism is rooted in proximity to whiteness.
The whole notion that white is the best, the correct, the most intelligent, the most right about everything. And as you move along the color spectrum, of the darker you are, the less important, beautiful, viable, capable, all of those things that the society has imposed upon us based on that notion of supremacy.
Its impact woven into American society and can affect every aspect of life. Take a look at the differences in wages for a dark-skinned African American, a brown skin, and a light-skinned African American. The study showing hourly wages among blacks literally rising as skin tone lightens. Lighter-skinned minorities viewed as more intelligent by employers, even with identical education as their darker-skinned counterparts. Experts say these examples of colorism have long-lasting effects of both mental and physical trauma.
The anti-blackness started with this whole idea that the darker you are, the less human you are. And so everyone's distancing themselves from that. I think multi-generational trauma is evident.
I hated the way I looked. I just wanted to like scratch the dark skin out of my face. One time I was in the bathtub and I wanted to stay in longer so my skin color could get lighter. I just thought that's how it worked.
Anti-colorism organizations like the Beautywell Project in Minnesota work to end the stigma against darker-skinned people of all races who face discrimination from society as well as their own communities.
I know I was not alone. I know I'm not the only dark-skinned girl that has been bullied. You know, so we need more dark-skinned girls and boys just to speak out.
Colorism sparking a lot of conversations lately, even highlighted in a best-selling novel, The Vanishing Half. Here are some statistics that Daisha was able to uncover. Darker-skinned girls 3 times more likely to be suspended from school. Darker-skinned drivers more likely to be even arrested or pulled over. A big problem that we obviously need to do a lot of work on. Cecilia?
It is, Deb. Thank you. And we're going to start right now by talking about it. That's the first step. So let's bring in Amira Adawe from the Beautywell Project in Minnesota, an organization that empowers people to embrace their identity and culture. Amira, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here to talk about, as we say, this really important topic. This is something that exists for Latinos. This is something that exists for Asian Americans, African Americans, so many groups of color. What can we do to combat this?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Colorism is so much embedded in cultures. It's something that started with colonizations, those countries that experienced colonizations, and also communities that have experienced slavery. And so it's deeply rooted in cultures. We have to teach people their identities. We have to teach people their history. We need to redefine beauty standards because that is a huge issue that impacts these communities. We need to empower and uplift communities of color.
No doubt. And Amira, how can people of color overcome their own insecurities and biases?
Yeah, this is so much trauma. I mean, this has been going on for years and years and years. So people are dealing with so much trauma, so much pain, and so they need safe space. We have to create safe space for them. We have to listen to them. A lot of times people don't disclose what they're experiencing unless they have safe space. So we have to create these safe spaces for them. We have to empower very early on. We have to start empowering young girls. That's why it's so important to have mentoring programs. Young people have to see representations in all fields. For example, journalism. They have to see people of color in all of these places that really represent them. That representation, it's so empowering, and that helps with their mentoring, and that helps them see that they can do whatever they want to do.
That's why we say representation matters so much. So let's talk about the next generation, because we want them to do better. Quickly, if you will, how do we address colorism at an early age?
Yeah, early age, during early childhood, it's so important to intervene. And that is when we really need to reform school curriculums. We need to include young kids in the school curriculums.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.